grade. So today in language, we're going to be talking about cause and effect. Now we've talked about this in class before and gone over how when something happens, it affects something else. So what do I have here today? I have a balloon. And this balloon is all blown up. There's air on the inside of it and it's tied off so that it cannot escape. So the effect is that it's all blown up. But how did I get there? How did I get my balloon to be like this? Because when I got it, it looked like this. I needed to do something to this in order for it to turn into this. What do you think it is? You probably guessed it. I have to blow it up. I have to blow air into it and tie it off so that it turns into this. So my cause of my balloon turning into being blown up with all the air in it is to blow in it. So I'm gonna blow. Now, I have to tie it off or blow around the room. So that my cause is to blow it up, and the effect of me tying it off is that it stays, all the air stays inside. So in order to make it look like this, I had to blow it up, and the effect was that it turns into this. But now, what if I switch it up a little bit? If I want to keep all the air on the inside of this, I shouldn't probably poke it with this, because we know the effect of poking a balloon with a sharp object is that it will pop. And so if I decided to take this and poke my balloon, the cause would be poking it, and the effect is that it's gonna pop. So let's try it. Here we go, count with me. 1, 2, 3. Was that the effect? My cause was poking it. The effect is that the balloon popped. It is no longer looking like this. Okay? Cause and effect. So we're going to be looking at that today. On your worksheet, you have different scenarios of different effects that happened, and you need to figure out what caused them. What I would like you to do today, once you've kind of gone through your paper with mom and dad and looking at that different cause and effect reactions, I want you to do some kind of experiment at home. Maybe it's going outside to water the plants, because we know that the cause of watering plants, the effect is that they're gonna grow. Maybe it's working hard at your memory verse this week, and the effect is that you're gonna learn it. If you don't practice that cause, you're not gonna have the effect of having it memorized. So I want you to think of something at home that you can do where you're practicing what the different causes are and what effects that they have, because today is Writing Wednesday. And I want you to write a story with cause and effect in it. And as you're writing that story, I want you to think about our first, our next, our then, and our last. Our 4 transition words that we've used in our writing before. And we've written about all different topics and all different subjects. And so I want you to think about, first, what did you do? First, I got a balloon. Next, I blew it up. Then I tied it off. And last, I had a fully blown up balloon. The cause was blowing and tying it. The effect is that I had that full balloon. Or, first, get a balloon and blow it up. Next, get a pointy object. Then, poke the balloon. Last, my balloon is popped. So I want you to write a story. Those are 2 different examples of stories that you could write using cause and effect. As I was thinking about cause and effect, I was reminded of someone in our Bible, a story that we've talked about. And this man's name was Jonah. Sometimes we have positive effects of our causes, and sometimes we have negative effects of our causes. Today, Jonah, there was a negative effect to the choice that he made. And so I'm going to read through our story today. The Lord said to Jonah, "Go to the great city of Nineveh, preach against it, tell these people to turn from their sin and choose to follow Jesus." But Jonah decided not to. He goes, "Nope, God, I don't want to do that. No thanks. That's for somebody else. I'm going to go hide on the ship." Can we hide from God? No, we can't. But Jonah ran away from the Lord, and he sailed in a complete opposite direction toward Tarshish. The Lord, while he was on this boat, sent a wild storm. The ship was in danger of breaking apart. And the sailors were afraid. Each of them cried out to their own God. They didn't have one true God that they believed in like Jonah did. They were trying to figure out, why is the storm going on? How do we make it stop? But Jonah had gone below the deck, and he laid down and fell asleep. And the captain went to Jonah during the storm and said, Jonah, wake up. How can you sleep? You need to call out to your God, whoever your God is, for help, because we can't stop this storm. The sea was getting rougher and rougher, and so the sailors asked Jonah, what should we do to make the sea calm down? Pick me up, he said, and throw me into the sea. Jonah had figured out at that point this storm was caused because Jonah did not choose to follow what the Lord had asked him to do. The result of this storm was caused, and the effect was because Jonah wasn't following directions. So if Jonah had chosen to follow directions, there might have been a different effect. And he said, it's my fault this terrible storm has come on you. Instead of doing what he said, the men did their best to row back to land. But they couldn't, and the sea got even rougher than before. Then they decided to throw Jonah overboard. The stormy sea immediately became calm. When the men saw that, they began to have respect for the Lord. They thought, whoa, this God that Jonah worships, he is all powerful. So the Lord sent a huge fish to swallow Jonah. Jonah went and lived inside the belly of this fish. And because God was protecting him, he was able to stay alive. And he was in the belly of that fish for 3 days and 3 nights. And from inside the fish, Jonah was praying to the Lord and repenting of his sins and repenting of choosing to disobey and go his own way. Jonah said, Lord, I'm sorry. Lord, I have sinned. How can I better choose to listen and obey you? And the fish spit up Jonah onto dry land, and Jonah chose to obey. And that brought him joy. We learn in class that when we choose to obey and choose to listen, it brings joy and happiness in our life. And when we choose to do that with the Lord, it brings that. And Jonah decided and chose to go to Nineveh, where God had asked him to go at the very beginning in the first place, and share with these people how much God loves them. No matter what happens in life, God loves you unconditionally. So, boys and girls, I'm excited to hear about and see all the fun cause and effect activities you get to do at home and read your different fun stories. See you later, first grade.